All right. I just want to show you a few things when you think about how investments work. There are three main ways that they work, and I'm actually going to pop up the whiteboard here on Zoom. I'm going to walk you through them so that you can understand them graphically. Okay, so you've got three main strategies when it comes to investments. And the first one is going to be you have fixed investment strategies, and this is investing in investment vehicles that are going to get you a consistent rate of return no matter what happens. The next is going to be you have variable investment strategies. And these are things that are going to have the potential to give you an outsized return, but they also have the potential for you to have an outsized loss. And then the third strategy, which is actually my favorite strategy, is going to be an indexed investing strategy. And this is when you use various indexes. The most popular one that most people know about is the S&P 500, and you use that to peg your investment strategy against. So we've got these sort of three main investment strategies that you can think about. Now, when you use these strategies, you're going to have, with a fixed strategy, imagine this is your rate of return. It's going to stay the same no matter what happens, month in, month out, year in, month out. And this would be things like a certificate of deposit or a savings account that your bank is paying you on. Right now, in a fixed strategy, you can sort of think about, at least what I'm seeing in CDs and things like that, you can count on about a 4 or 5% rate of return. So if you're investing $100,000 every single year, that would turn into $5,000 in interest that you would earn. So that would be a fixed strategy. With a variable strategy, you're getting sort of these ebbs and flows in what happens. And so you can have the opportunity with the variable strategy to have an outsized return. So you may get lucky and you may have a return that comes up here. Now, not consistently up here, but every once in a while, from a normal 4 or 5% return that you could get on fixed, you'll see sort of this strategy ping up and you'll earn 20%, right? In a variable strategy, possibly. So maybe you bought an individual stock, it performs really well, and all of a sudden it shoots up really high. But the other thing that can happen on this variable strategy is it can shoot up and earn you 20%, and then it can shoot down here, and it can also cost you to where you're losing, say, 20%, right? And so we've seen that in the market lately with stocks and other investments, is that during the good years, people were making all kinds of money on individual stocks. And then we've had some recession periods, and we might be heading into one, and they're losing, and they're all the way down to 20%. And so variable can sort of bounce back and forth between really big returns and really, really big losses, okay? Now, the third idea is kind of the happy medium. This indexing strategy is a happy medium. It's helping you take advantage of good times in the market, but it also limits your loss. So with an indexing strategy, what you will see is an indexing strategy will come in somewhere around here, and it also will ebb and flow a bit depending on how things are going. But on average, some of the index strategies I have seen are getting around 11%. So with an index strategy, again, I'm not trying to imply that it's always 11% with this straight line. I'm just trying to have you visualize returns. It does vary, but with a indexing strategy, depending on the product you're in, and I have access to thousands of them, 190 different companies. One of my most favorite products that I use with clients uses an indexing strategy. And so what it's trying to do is it's trying to get you closer to this 20% that you can take advantage of when the market's doing really well. And it's trying to outperform a fixed strategy, but it avoids this. You don't want this loss of 20%. So what you will see with some products, let's call this zero, baseline zero right here. What you will see with an indexing strategy is they will index against an index, right? So maybe the S&P 500, a NASDAQ index, other indexes that are performing really well. I was doing an illustration for a client last night, and I was seeing a historical return on a couple of indices of more than 9% over the most recent years. And so that's really, even there, if we're not at 11, we're at 9 in here, that's still better than this 4 or 5%. It may not be this 20%, But again, you're not having this loss of 20%. So in the products I was looking at yesterday for this particular client, we were using an index strategy that was going to get them actually north of 9%. I think it was somewhere around 9.52. Historically, by the way, that isn't a guess. That's historical performance of this indexing strategy. But what it did is the product it was in did two main things that were really nice. The first is they guaranteed no loss. This indexing strategy that I'm referring to guaranteed no loss, okay? Guaranteed. Absolutely, you can't lose money. Now, you're not likely going to get this 20%. You could if you use the right index, but a lot of people would say, hey, I'll take this historical 9% as long as you guarantee me not having to have this loss of 20% somewhere along the way. So this product isn't perfect for everybody. That's true for every single investment vehicle out there. You have to pick the right tool for the right customer, but I'm sharing this with you because an indexing strategy can be a really healthy way to take advantage of getting some gain, but also limiting your losses. So the right product can give you a guarantee of no loss whatsoever out there. Now, the other thing this particular product did was it paid a bonus out of the gate. It paid a 10% bonus, right? So if you were fortunate enough to have $100,000 that you could invest, you were immediately getting $10,000 bonus into that product. So getting a healthy return pegged to an index that has been getting historical good returns, but also guaranteeing no loss. So that's the beauty of using an index strategy. If you're much older, a fixed strategy might be better for you. That way, you know for sure you're just going to get your 4 or 5 or whatever percent return it is that you can get, but you're definitely not going to have any losses. Even if you're young, it's an index strategy might be great for you as well. If your risk appetite is one where you don't feel comfortable shooting for that 20%, and then getting a minus 20% along the way, that's something you don't feel really comfortable with, then an indexing strategy can be really, really great for you. You have the opportunity to beat a fixed strategy with your returns, but you also limit your downsides.